Help me out, Bears fans. We're trying to get to 5,000 followers on my Instagram account. We're almost at 4,800, just over 200 away. I told you guys last week, once we get to 5,000, I will put your mock drafts on an episode of Bears Now and react to them here on the channel. So give me a follow. I'm plugging out content over there every single day as well as we do here on YouTube. So follow me at HGrabNFL. Send me your mock drafts, and let's dive into today's show. Brand new sponsor alert here on Chicago Bears Now. It is 8 Sleep. Go to 8sleep.com/chatsports. Get $200 off an awesome item that's going to help you sleep better. It's going to track your health science while you're asleep as well. We'll tell you more about them later. Fired up to have 8 Sleep on board here at Chat Sports. All right, coming up on today's show, Mel Kiper Jr. has released his first 2024 NFL mock draft. Yeah, Mel, I've released 12. Nice for you to start catching up. But he's released his first one here, and obviously the Bears have 2 first-round picks. And like pretty much all mocks we're seeing these days, he kicks things off with Caleb Williams with the number 1 overall pick. Kyper has the Bears taking the quarterback out of USC. He continues to be the heavy favorite to be the number 1 selection this year. And again, most NFL insiders, most mock drafts have the Bears trading Justin Fields and drafting Caleb with the number 1 pick in the 2024 NFL draft. We'll continue to discuss. We'll continue to debate, find as many new angles as we can. I get there's already some fatigue here, but it is what it is. Here's what Kyper had to say in this regard on what the Bears could be doing at quarterback. He said, are the Bears really going to pass up on the chance to take the top quarterback in back-to-back draft classes? I just don't see it. This year they have to decide whether to keep Justin Fields or trade down again. Now, I will say, this is a tricky situation for Ryan Poles. While it's a great situation the Bears are in, that doesn't mean it's not tricky to navigate because, let's be clear here. If Poles passes on Williams again, keeps Fields again, and Williams goes out and shines somewhere else, and Fields is kind of just the same. He's middle of the road in terms of starting quarterbacks. He's probably fired. Now, I don't think he's going to get flack for passing on C.J. Stroud because most people thought Bryce Young was the top quarterback last year, which is why Carolina took number 1. But if you do that again and Caleb Williams turns into something special, that's going to put you in a bad spot. Now, the opposite could be true, too. What if you trade Justin Fields, draft Caleb Williams, turn down explosive blockbuster trade offers, Fields flourishes somewhere else, and Williams struggles here? You could be in trouble in that scenario, too. Now, I think the latter is more understandable than the former because you could say, hey, listen, I gave Fields another year and it didn't work out, but it's a tricky navigation process for Ryan Poles, which is why you got to be careful making this decision and make sure you get it right. More from Kyper here on why the Bears should draft Caleb Williams in his opinion. He says Williams is a better prospect than Fields. We've now seen 3 seasons from Fields, and he has not put everything together on a consistent basis. There are too many unknowns for a guy with 38 career starts. Taking Williams resets the QB clock, which matters in an age when having a quarterback on a rookie contract means teams can build a better roster around them. If they keep Fields, they'd have to decide on his 5th-year option this spring and then extend his contract within the next year. And again, there's risk on both sides. The question is, which side is riskier? Which side gives you a better chance to reach that ultimate goal of winning a Super Bowl? That's really the main question you have to ask yourself if you're Ryan Poles. We know he's a patient guy, so if he's not all in on 2024, but he thinks Caleb Williams gives you a better chance to eventually win a Super Bowl, then that's probably the route he's going to go. I don't think he's going to view 2024 as an end-all, be-all. I think he wants it to be a playoff team, and he should expect that, but that doesn't mean it's 2024 or bust in terms of being a Super Bowl contender. Now, the question is, what's riskier? Because I do think there is risk either way you go, which I've outlined pretty well here. Number 1, keeping Justin Fields. Is that riskier of just running it back, or is drafting Caleb Williams riskier? Because just those 3 words for each option, you would think, oh, drafting Caleb Williams is riskier. Is it, though? Because if you keep Justin Fields and it doesn't work again, and you draft Caleb Williams and it does work, and you pass with Caleb Williams, and he's awesome elsewhere, you're done. Like, you can make a big argument that actually passing on Williams is riskier, which is weird to say because you kind of know what you have in Justin, and you do think he could improve. But the bottom line is, if Caleb hits, it's franchise-changing. Again, though, if he misses, it's also franchise-changing because you could have gotten a big package for the number 1 pick. So there's risk on both sides. Again, let me know what you think the riskier side is. Today's show is sponsored by 8 Sleep, the high-tech solution to your age-old sleeping issues. 8 Sleep's Pod 3 cover slips right over your mattress, bringing heating and cooling tech that keeps you comfortable and sleeping deeper for a better, more restful night. I picked up my Pod 3 cover from 8 Sleep a few months ago, and I've never slept better. Sleep science shows that in order to sleep our best, our body temperature needs to drop in the early part of the night and then rise in the morning. The pod cover will improve your sleep by automatically adjusting your bed's temperature based on your individual needs. The cover can be added to any bed like a fitted sheet and allows you and your partner to cool or warm with your side of the bed as low as 55 degrees and up to 110 degrees. Not only does it keep you at the perfect temperature all night, the pod also tracks your sleep and health metrics. On average, users see their sleep quality improve by 32% after just 1 month on the pod. So start the new year off right by improving your sleep with 8 Sleep's Pod 3. Go to 8sleep.com/chatsports to get $200 off plus free shipping. That is 8sleep.com/chatsports to get $200 off plus free shipping. That link is in the comments and in the description. Start sleeping better today with 8 Sleep. So, of course, part of this mock draft from Mel Kiper is it means you're trading Justin Fields. Mel Kiper did add an interesting note for the second time in a couple of weeks here that he still believes the Bears could receive a first-round pick for Fields, which could make the decision a little easier on Ryan Poles. Like if he's like, man, I don't want to not get value that I could get for trading down for number 1, but if I can get a 1 for Fields, then that's certainly appealing too. Here's what Kyper said. He said, remember that the Cardinals traded Josh Rosen 1 year after drafting him at 10 overall. They got a second-round pick from the Dolphins. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Bears get a first-rounder in return from Fields. I think he's saying, look, if Josh Rosen can go for a 2, Fields is more accomplished than that guy, no doubt about it. And, I wouldn't rule out a first-round pick. I wouldn't bet on it. I think it would be a 2 plus more, but it only takes one team, man. It only takes the Pittsburgh Steelers thinking, hey, we're a legitimate quarterback away from being a major contender. Maybe Atlanta gets crazy desperate and says, hey, we'll give you the number 8 pick. Yeah, we want like a 4th-round pick in return, but you're telling me you wouldn't consider that? Top 10 pick, you ship a 4th out as well. Then you have 1, 8, and 9. I mean, that's pretty damn appealing. There's obviously appeal to trying to keep it rolling with Justin Fields, but there's risk there, man. If you run it back and pass on the number 1 pick of drafting a quarterback 2 years in a row, and your quarterback doesn't take a necessary step with his 3rd OC in 4 years, by the way, that's a big risk, man. But I will say this, when it comes to Justin, and why I do think he could get a first-round pick in return, there's some bad QB play in the NFL, man. Like, and quarterbacks are getting injured. We set a record in the league this year with most quarterbacks making a start. I think it was like 65 different guys started a game this year. I mean, Tommy DeVito's getting starts. Trubisky's getting starts. Kenny Pickett is horrible. Like, Mason Rudolph. Like, there's guys all over the league that are playing. Justin Fields will start somewhere next year. Whether it's here or somewhere else, he will be the starter, which is why it only takes 1 or 2 teams showing major interest for that price to maybe be a first-round pick. Now, here's what I can promise. Even if there's fatigue, if there's new rumors around the quarterback position, we're going to discuss it. So subscribe, stay tuned. We'll, of course, have other content as well, other news and rumors items, other draft coverage, free agency. Also, lots to dive into. Hit that sub button here on Chicago Bears Now. So with the number 9 pick in Mel Kiper Jr.'s mock draft, he has Chicago going with Odunze, the wide receiver out of Washington. So you pair receiver with Caleb Williams after moving on from Justin Fields. He is one of the top wide receiver prospects in this class. I have him as the 3rd behind Marvin Harrison Jr. and Malik Nabers. And look, if you are going to move on from Fields, this is probably the ideal scenario because you get Caleb and a big-time receiver without having to trade up for one. Now, I would love to have Marvin Harrison Jr. as well, but if you're asking me, would I trade future first plus more to go up to 3 or 4 and get MHJ, or just take Odunze or Nabers at 9, probably just stay at 9, as much as that sucks to say, because this wide receiver class is that loaded. I mean, the guy had 1,600 plus yards and 13 touchdowns this year. He averaged 18.5 yards per catch while having 92 catches. That's otherworldly production and explosiveness, and we know Shane Waldron's offense is an explosive type of offense. The explosive rankings were very high during his time in Seattle. Now, you look at how Kyper's top 10 shook out. How about offense, man? Top 3 quarterbacks, top 3 picks. Although he did have Daniels over Maye. That was pretty interesting. Daniels to Washington, MHJ, Brock Bowers, Malik Nabers. He's got Joe Alton there. The one defensive player, Dallas Turner, went to Atlanta at 8. Then Odunze and Fashanu, 9 and 10. I mean, I'll tell you what, man. The Bears picked a good draft to have 2 top 10 picks when they need offense, because that's what they need. They need offense. And that's regardless of quarterback. If you keep Fields, you still need offense. You need at least one more receiver, if not 2. You could go get a Brock Bowers if you wanted to. You could go offensive line as well. There is loaded talent on the offensive side of the football. And by the way, the top defensive talent that could go top 10, top 15 is edge. You need that as well. So, like, this draft really sets up nicely for Chicago based on where they're picking. Much better than last year, which is part of the equation too. Like, trading down last year made way more sense for so many reasons. You were still rebuilding. The QB class wasn't viewed to be as strong. You needed to get more evaluation of Justin Fields. I'm down to keep Justin Fields still. I'm just saying the conversation's different this time around. Caleb Williams is considered a better prospect than anybody that came out last year, including C.J. Stroud. Stroud outperformed most people's expectations, if we're being honest, which, if anything, is like encourages teams more to want to take a chance on him, right? On a Caleb Williams, because if Stroud can play like that, what can a guy who got graded higher do in the right situation, which I do think the Bears is a pretty damn decent situation. So my overall takeaway from Kyper's mock draft is this. If you're moving on from Fields, which he does here, this is a pretty damn good haul, man. You get Caleb, you get Rome Odunze to add to DJ Moore and Cole Kmet on that offense. Maybe you go sign a receiver and a running back in free agency. You get yourself a center later in the draft or in free agency. Let's go, man. You feel a lot better about the overall depth and talent of the offense. The defense is going to be in good shape, especially if you add a couple more pieces. So I like how this fell. Again, the dream scenario, if you trade Justin Fields, is to get Odunze or Nabers at 9 to pair with Caleb Williams. Odunze seems more likely, as most big boards have Nabers a little bit higher. Grade Mel Kiper's Bears mock draft, A, B, C, D, or F. I got to go like A minus, man. Now, if you're in the keep Justin Fields camp, I'm sure you're going to grade it lower, but even the people who are like, I'm not trading Fields no matter what, which I haven't given my final decision, but I'm in the camp of I'm cool either way. Even people who don't want to get rid of Fields no matter what have to look at this and be like, well, if they do, this is pretty damn good, right? Like, I don't think it could fall much better than this. So A, B, C, D, or F, drop your letter grade down in the comments. And again, let's get to 5K, man. I'm bringing you guys content on IG. I might do some IG lives this offseason. We did that a couple of years ago. That was a good time. At HGramNFL, follow me over there. Help a brother out. We'll see you next time. Peace.